Okay, so when I say the word birthday, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, it's a whole vibe, right?
You're probably thinking about balloons, maybe some confetti, and your phone just buzzing off the hook with messages.
You know, parties, cake, the whole shebang. It's supposed to be this huge celebration, the one day of the year that's all about you. But what about the folks who wake up, immediately silence their notifications, and just go about their day like it's any other Tuesday? It's way more common than you might think.
So that's the big question we're diving into. Why do some people just opt out of their own birthday? And trust me, it's not always because they're sad. Sometimes the reason is a lot deeper and, honestly, a lot more interesting.
All right, let's kick things off with the first big reason, the social pressure. This is where a birthday can start to feel less like a fun party and more like a performance.
I mean, think about it. For some people, the idea of a whole room of people singing happy birthday directly at them while they just sit there, it's pure nightmare fuel. It feels overwhelming, it's loud, and it can just feel so forced. They would much rather have peace and quiet.
And you know, this isn't just a random preference. It often has real psychological roots. It could be classic introversion, where your social battery just hits zero super fast. It could be a form of social anxiety. Or maybe, just maybe, it comes from growing up in a family where big emotional displays just weren't a thing. So as an adult, being the focus of all that attention just feels off.
And then you've got the pressure. Oh, the pressure. As the day gets closer, the questions start rolling in. It usually starts with this one, which sounds innocent enough, right? But that's quickly followed by this unspoken expectation that you have to do something big, something post-worthy. There's this idea that a birthday that isn't celebrated in a certain way is a birthday wasted. And then, after the day is over, you get this question. This whole cycle can create so much stress. So instead of trying to stage some perfect, Instagram-worthy event, it's just easier to do nothing at all. Okay, so we've talked about all the pressure from the outside world. But now, let's shift gears and look inward, because the personal reasons for a quiet birthday can be even more powerful. This is where the psychology gets really fascinating. For some people, ignoring their birthday is actually a learned behavior. Think about it. If you grew up having birthdays that were forgotten or overlooked or just ended in disappointment, your brain literally creates a defense mechanism. It teaches itself, hey, if we don't expect anything, we can't get hurt again. So downplaying the day becomes a form of emotional self-preservation.
Plus, let's be honest, the whole meaning of a birthday changes. When you're a kid, it's so simple. Presents, cake, fun. But as an adult, for a lot of us, it becomes this stark reminder that time is ticking. It's the day you start thinking about your responsibilities, the pressure to hit certain life goals, and just the fact that you're getting older. The pure joy can kind of get replaced by a wave of anxiety.
But a quiet birthday isn't always about avoiding something negative. Sometimes it's about embracing something really positive. For some people, it's a conscious shift away from loud celebrations and towards quiet gratitude. Their happiness is totally internal. They're just genuinely thankful for another year on this planet, and for them, that's enough. No party needed. This brings us to a big one: authenticity. A birthday can trigger a flood of messages from people you haven't heard from in 364 days. And for some, that kind of temporary love just feels hollow. It shines a spotlight on who remembers you because they care and who remembers because Facebook sent them a notification. So to avoid that emotionally uncomfortable feeling, they sidestep the whole thing. And that all leads to this really powerful idea. Some people just have a very strong, very independent sense of self. They don't need a party or a bunch of social media posts to feel valued. For them, their birthday doesn't define their worth. It's just another day to work, to grow, and to live. And you know what? That is perfectly okay. Now, we do need to talk about one last aspect of this, and it's a really important one to handle with care. Because sometimes ignoring a birth date isn't just a personal preference, it can be a sign of something much deeper going on.
If someone who normally loves their birthday suddenly goes quiet, or if their lack of interest is paired with things like feeling numb or worthless, it could be a sign of emotional exhaustion or even depression. I mean, when you don't feel like there's any reason to celebrate your own life, a birthday can feel incredibly heavy.
So the real takeaway here is just to be mindful. If you know someone who kind of fits that description, just checking in on them quietly can mean the world. That silence can sometimes hide a lot more than we realize. So, after going through all of these reasons, from social pressure to deep-seated psychology, what's the bottom line? Well, it's really all about reframing how we look at the whole thing. So,
Instead of jumping to conclusions and thinking someone who skips their birthday is cold or unemotional or boring, maybe we can see them for what they might actually be: introverted, focused on peace, or maybe just really emotionally mature. Or, like we talked about, maybe they're just carrying the weight of past disappointments.
And this is the most important part of this entire conversation. Every single one of these reasons is valid. There is no right or wrong way to feel about your own day. Period.
I want to leave you with this thought. How you celebrate, or if you celebrate, doesn't change the importance of the day. Whether you throw a massive party or just have a quiet cup of coffee by yourself, your birthday matters because you matter. It's all about making sure the day feels right for you.
So, I've got to ask you, after hearing all of this, where do you fall on the spectrum? Are you a big celebrator, or do you prefer to keep it low-key? I'd love to hear your own experiences and your why in the comments below.